Hey guys, I just thought I'd make a quick video about SSRV visas in the Philippines. That allows a foreigner to stay in the Philippines indefinitely without any form of external wife or support. And it's called an SSRV, where you'll pay a fee as a trust or a deposit to the Filipino government, and that will allow you to stay there forever. That money is always refunded back to you by request. There's a couple of different options I'm going to run through. Let's start. If you come to me to help, I'm connected to people that can help you do your visas, okay? And we can help you get started. Now, we'll charge you $500. $500 US dollars, that's your starting point. This is all in US dollar, right? We will charge you $500 as long as you didn't overcomplicate it, okay? Second thing, the government application fee for them to process this is $1,500. $1,500, okay? Now it breaks down into your personal circumstance, okay? This is the money that you put, that isn't refundable, but the money you put to the government sits in a trust, and you can get it back at any time, in which your visa will cut off any time. If you died, you'd get the money would go to somebody else, or you could just ask and end your visa. Now, if you were 60 years old and had a pension, you had money coming in from the outside and had an ongoing pension, you pay $15,000 into a trust, and this takes about 14 days to get your visa. $15,000 into the government trust, and you will get stamped off and have a permanent visa and never have to leave the country again. Okay, 60 years old with a pension. If you're 60 years old and didn't have a pension, if you're 60 years old and did not have a pension, it's a $30,000 deposit. You have to put $30,000 down in the same circumstance, in which you'd have your own income source of some description. You'd have $30,000 into their trust, and that's it. The third thing you need to know is, if you are younger, if you're 40 years old above to 60, 40 years old to 59 years old, and had external money coming in, it's $50,000. $50,000 is your deposit from 40 years old, and you get this money back if you need to. The next thing you need to do, the other option, is if you bought a condo. There's condos available. If you bought a $70,000 condo, I'm connected to people who can sell you a $100,000 condo, about 6 million peso, something like that, and that will also approve, without putting money into the government, you could buy a condo, and that will also qualify you to stay in the country ongoing on the visa structure. So I'm going to run through again. I charge you $500. Don't overcomplicate it. It's not my specialty, and I'm not chasing $500. It's $1,500. The government fee, that for them to process it for you, that's when I pass it on to the third party and they do their thing. If you're 60 and have a pension, you have a $15,000 deposit that you will have to pay to the trust and deal with it from there, refundable. If you're 60 years older and didn't have a pension, it is $30,000 you'd put towards the deposit. If you're 40 years old to 59 years old, it is $50,000 as your deposit. Or if you bought a $70,000 freestanding approved structure, you also qualify for these visas as well. Okay, so that's another thing. And I'm connected to a group that can easily do you a $100,000 condo in Makati right now. I think it's fully built and that sort of stuff. So these are options. So that's how an SSRV works. Hopefully you get it. If you're a tourist, different again. I'm going to add this to the end. If you're a tourist, when you stamp off, I think you get 28 days, and then every 2 months you got to go and get a re-stamp, and that'll cost you, look, I'm not sure of the exact money, I think it's about $100, and every third year you have to leave the country and come back and start again. We can process that for you. We'll just have a day rate of 1,000 or 2,000 peso to run around and do your thing. It's a full day process, so it's not something you want to be connected to. But you could re-stamp every 2 months for 3 years, and on the third year you just got to go for a quick trip over to Hong Kong and back, and then that 3 years starts again. So that's the other option. Now you can do all this while staying at my resort and go from there. And so that's the process, guys. That's an SSRV. Hopefully this helps someone. We are connected, man, so we're happy to help you if you need to, all right? But you are able to do this by yourself. Don't think you don't do it, but it's always easy to pay a couple of bucks to someone else to take the headache. Thanks, guys. Bye.